Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. Hope you had having a nice day and happy Friday, as they say. And this is just a general share advice and not personal advice. Now, I'm very happy to have Andrew Page with me. Obviously famous for all what he did in the early days with Motley Fool, one of I think the great analysts, especially small caps in Australia. And he's with us at 12 o'clock today. So really looking forward to having him on board. Just going to have a quick look really at what's been going on, and I suppose everyone's saying to me, and I had a few emails today, and everyone's a little bit confused. And the reason being is that we had record inflation numbers, CPI in America. What does that mean? The Fed is going to be putting up those interest rates, and you think long term it's just going to be tough going for everybody, tough going for companies, tough going for mums and dads. And the market, when they saw the news, crashed down 500 points, and bang, it ended up nearly about 1-2%. So the question is, why? Um, what we saw is the market basically came down to sort of recent lows, and then the traders came in and thought, hold on a second, maybe there's an opportunity here. I'll buy some off the lows. Then I think what we got was a lot of short covering that came in, and there's a lot of technical trading in America where, you know, um, it can affect the, the movement of shares over sort of daily basis. For me, that's how the markets move. I mean, keep it simple, stupid. This is what happens. Nothing comes down in a straight line. Look at this. It's coming down here. Oh, big move. Well, there she goes 2 weeks later. So I think, yeah, even if we have another good week next week, I think the general move, the general sentiment of the market, it's still going down. And again, core inflation is 40-year highs. It's absolutely really, they can't put that inflation genie back in the bottle, and this is still going to be more short-term pressure on the market. Um, Everyone keeps saying, Dave, we're trying to work out here, Equity Story, when do we really get excited? When do we start? Well, when do we buy this market? And I don't think it's yet, but I don't think it's too far away. Um, the general feeling is, and you know what, these are not all ideas. We spend a lot of time reading, reading what other people are thinking, looking at common sense views um, of the world markets and how they move. And I think there's a very interesting theory out there, and it's this. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to bring it across. Da da da. So, what's always happened in the past is when we've had really big crashes on the market. What the reason being is everyone's got, oh, I'm so scared of this stock market. The whole thing's collapsing on the heap. Oh, just got to get out of it. And you know what? I'm going to go into good old safe US bonds, European bonds, put my money away for a while. It's going to be really safe there. I'll wait for the markets to recover and then get back in the stock market. And that's great, but I think there's a problem now with that. You know, if I was going to buy a US government bond, but imagine America's a company. Really, would you honestly feel safe deep down investing into a company which was 31 trillion in debt? And with the interest rates rising, the repayment on that debt is getting worse and worse and worse. I honestly think, personally myself, I'd much rather have my money with Apple, who have got about $5 billion in cash in the bank. They've got no debt. They've got a great product. If I could get Apple at a good price, or Google, or some of these stories at a really good price, I'd much rather that than be in government bonds. And I like this theory that is around at the moment. And this has got me thinking a little bit, guys, that maybe, I do think the market's got further to go, but maybe it's not down here at 18,000. Maybe it's down here at 24 or 25,000. And maybe that's when we've really got to start looking at detail, look at those charts with great detail, because maybe that's the opportunity where we're going to make amazing returns. I don't think it's quite yet, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's too far away. So So again, we're playing it day by day, and I think what's helping that also theory is this war in Ukraine. Now, you know, when you've got war in Ukraine, I think you're going to see a lot more money leave Europe, and maybe that money could flee out of Europe and go into America. Could go. I mean, really, if you're a European and you see Europe collapsing in a heap, I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with putting a few of your pounds into Aussie really Aussie banks, is it? Just park it there for a few years. At the end of the day, I think we're in that sort of world at the moment, and we possibly could see a little bit more support to our markets than we would have done back in 2008 or 2000. But let's just follow the charts and we'll play it, as you say, week by week. And really, when you look at this, we've had that nice little bounce up. Um, it can't even get back above the trend. I should think that these markets are most probably heading a little bit further down. And again, you know, it's still a negative bear market at the moment. Um, so let's have a look. I mean, what's looking good at the moment, and I think we saw oil up overnight, and if I had bought that buy signal on Woodside, which I think a lot of people do, I'd be holding it. I still think Woodside possibly over the next few weeks it's going to go a lot higher. Really interested to see Santos, UBS again, a $9.45 target price from UBS. They had I think a big upgrade overall on a lot of their energy stocks with these higher gas prices that we've seen recently, and a 9.45 target price. So both those stories, Woodside and Santos, if you're in them long term, I'd be holding them. I still think there's a trend in both those stories. Origin is maybe the other one in that. Origin's just still below trend. I still think it needs to do a little bit more. But I know there's been some pretty bullish target prices of Origin. I think UBS are up here around 740. But you know what I mean? Pick the better stories. And I think the better stories out of those three are really Woodside and STO. Um, as for those little ones, Karoon, I still think it's looking very good. I'd be holding that. SMR, we put it as a trend the other day, and really it's still back to the same old stories, isn't it? Um, same stories that are, coal, oil. Um, these are the same stories that are making us the money at the moment. But I just want to have a look at one little thing here. Qantas. So Qantas had a very strong announcement the other day, and we did talk a little bit like see where it is on Friday, see look at the chart, and I get it. There's a bit of resistance at $6, but it was really interesting to see some very bullish broker target prices of Qantas. Um, so Morgan Stanley came out and they've put a 750 target price. They think it's going to maybe revisit those highs where it was back in December last year, again, which is pretty good to see. And again, UBS around 720. So maybe I think it could be a trend in this, but just wait. See if I put it on Einstein's. I just want to see really where. I'm still nervous of it. I don't think travel is. It's great that travel is happening again, but I'm still a little bit. I'm not as confident of trending this sort of stuff as possibly obviously oil and gas plays and coal plays. But have a look this weekend if it's on Einstein's. If I put it on Einstein's, if it ends looking near the highs where it is now, I think there's a good chance this could go higher over the next few weeks, and possibly we could have a decent trade in Qantas. So, like I said, get on your watch list, and if it's on Einstein's, you could look at buying it on Monday. There is a possibility that this bit of short covering that I think we've seen on the Dow this last night and this little bit of a move up, I think it could be temporary, and maybe we could have maybe when the actual sinks in a little bit how bad the situation is there with inflation, we could potentially have a bit of a reversal tonight and a little bit of a red move on the Dow, and that might mean buying today could be a little bit tough. Um, I think that's all I've got to say today. I'm going to keep it quite short. Like I said, I've got Andrew coming later. We've got this record inflation numbers around the world. I still think markets have got a little bit further to go, But like I said, I think the important thing to take away from this, don't go into your shell and think this is just not going to be any good day for, it ain't going to happen for about 6 months. I don't think that buy is too far away. So it could be November, halfway through November, and that's hopefully we're going to try and pick that time to get into the markets for you. Um, yeah, looks great to see. Obviously, Whitehaven, all these coal places going on and on, aren't they? Um, and have a quick look at Einstein's, what's going on there. And there's a few moves. There's a few little ones here. Some of these micro caps are moving, aren't they? DNK, a few of them. TIE, I think, has had a nice little move. Some of them, that FHE's moving up quite nicely. I like that CRN. I think that looks good. So generally speaking, I won't go through them all. IGO hitting record highs and $16. I mean, absolutely superb. Some disappointing ones. I think Mad. Come on, Mad. You should have gone on with it. It hasn't. But yeah, just struggling a little bit, isn't it, to get over those resistance levels? But again, it doesn't look too bad. Um, Santos, like we said, is good. Coal, YAL, still holding in there. SMR, we put it on as a trend. I think, come on, SMR, you've got to get that $3. Um, PSI, little insurance company, you'd be holding that. So I think in a flat market, generally speaking, Einstein's more or less moved with the market. Some have done particularly well. Like I said, remember it's weekly trades, so we're looking for these. I think generally speaking, you see those Einstein stories tend to do well historically, actually week 3 and 4, where they really start having a move. Um, that being said, I think that's all I've got to talk about today. I think it's important, from us, that we don't see I don't think this bottom of this market is as far away as a lot of people think it is. And guess what, guys? Maybe that's when we're going to buy it. Saying that, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at Ask the Analyst Live today at 12 o'clock with Andrew Page. Thank you. Bye bye.